Good evening, good evening, good evening, my brothers and sisters. How you doing this evening? Welcome to dinner time. It's dinner time tonight. Come on in before we embark on this holiday that will be tomorrow. So I got some good soul food for you tonight. So come on in, come on in, come on in. This is your brother Tony, and you know I'm prepared to give you some good soul food tonight, my brothers and sisters. If you are on the book, I would like for you to like and share. If you are on the tube, I would like for you to subscribe, like, and not only that, I would like for you to hit that notification button so when it's dinner time, you could come right on in. How you doing, Sister Teresa Thomas? Welcome to tonight's dinner. And Teresa is from Milwaukee. How you doing, sister? I hope that you had a good weekend. Come on in, come on in. We got some good soul food tonight, my brothers and sisters. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm gonna talk for a little more while before I give some more brothers and sisters opportunity to come in for the dinner table. I got a good topic to talk about, and I know that you all will really, really enjoy it, especially my brothers in Christ. I need for you to listen to what I'm about to say tonight about this particular topic. Very, very important for you, brother. All you brother, not only my brother, but for men that are not per se believe in how shall I say it? I'm trying to find a delicate way to say it. Some of you may not believe what I believe, but I believe strongly in a man that called Jesus Christ. So this particular program is basically for my brothers and sisters that are following the Lord. And now, if you are a visitor, I welcome you to come to the dinner table. How you doing, Sister Mary Jane? Welcome to the dinner table tonight. How you doing, Sister Ingrid? Welcome to dinner tonight. So we're about to get ready. And let me tell you a little about myself, my brother and sister. If this is your first time at dinner, how you doing, Sister? Sister Diamond, if this is your first time at the dinner table, my name is Tony M. Toomer, and I talk about relationship. I talk about relationship basically from a biblical point of view. I believe strongly that God had a unique relationship with the man Adam. Secondly, he had a unique relationship with the woman Eve. Thirdly, God represented the woman to the man Adam. And at that particular time, Adam said in the presence of God, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call her woman because she came from man. That's the position that I come from. Now, if you believe in anything else contrary to what I believe, you have what is called a free will. You can do whatever you choose to do, my brother and sister. But at tonight's dinner, I basically talk about the relationship between that of a man and a woman, and it's documented in the book of Genesis. How you doing, Sister Flo? Welcome to tonight's dinner table. Now, we're about to embark on an important topic tonight. And the topic tonight is the power of a woman. Again, tonight's topic is the power of a woman. Brother, let me tell you something. What I'm about to talk about tonight, how you doing, Brother Moses? Brother, what I'm about to talk about tonight, my brother, I'm going to lay evidence that there's power with a woman. Those of you that are coming in tonight, tonight's topic is the power of a woman. If you are on the book, I hope that you will like and share. If you are on the tube, and if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. It's free of charge. Like, and you can also share, okay? Now, okay, Sister Dom said, I'm saving this, going to come back and watch later. I can't wait. Okay, Sister, I will put your food in the microwave so you could go ahead and warm it up, okay? Now, my brothers and sisters, check this out. Check this out. My father, he's dead now. He's dead now. But there were 3 recording artists that put Macon, Georgia on the map. There are 3 recording artists that put Macon, Georgia on the map. Those 3 artists were Lil Richard. I know you're familiar with Lil Richard. I know you're familiar with Otis Redding, and you're familiar with James Brown. Now, we're going to look at something about James Brown. How you doing, Auntie David? Those of you that are coming in tonight, tonight's topic is the power of a woman. And I'm just telling you, I'm going to lay documentation down and proof that a woman has power, okay? Whether a lot of you guys don't believe it or not, and I'm not simping for no woman, but women have power, and here it go. Like I had just stated, my father, he was familiar with these three guys, and these three guys put Macon Jordan in the map. As I stated, it was Little Richard, it was Otis Redding, and it was James Brown. They had a major impact on the music and Macon, and it went worldwide. But we talking about Brother James Brown right at this moment. James Brown, how you doing, Sister Tolliver? James Brown, he had a song called "This Is a Man's World." That's what James Brown said. But when you listen to the lyric, James Brown also said something in the lyric. He said, "This is a man's world, but it would not be nothing without a woman or a girl." Now check this out. Brother James had that much sense. He said that it would be nothing without a woman and a girl. Now James said this from a secular standpoint. Now the power of a woman. What is the purpose of a woman? What is the purpose of a woman? Majority of men, and also unfortunately, majority of women don't know this particular truth. But again, what is the purpose of a woman or the power of a woman? Now, God, my brothers, God, my sister, is the only one that provide a sensible and direct answer to this question. So I'm about to answer this question according to God. What God said when we go to 1 Corinthians 1, that 1 Corinthians 1, 11, 9, that's 1 Corinthians 11, 9, 1 Corinthians 11, 9. It said, "For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man." So God created, if you don't know, sister, tonight, you know now your purpose. God created you for the man. He did not create the man for you, okay? God created the man first, but it's very, very important what God did when he created creation. He added the woman last, and when he put the woman last, that was the period of creation, or the cherry on top of the pie, as I would say. Now, women, brothers, and women, sisters, they have power, and a foolish man doesn't have this knowledge. A foolish man doesn't have the knowledge that a woman actually has power. Women are not weak. But even though the Bible said the woman is the weaker vessel, it doesn't mean she's weak as far as the mind and the emotion. It means that as far as physical strength, that's what it really means. Now, women have power, and a foolish man, he does not retain this type of knowledge. But a man of wisdom, he has this knowledge and the discernment to understand the importance or purpose of a woman, why God created the woman. Now, most women, listen to what I'm saying, my brother and sister. Most women can change the mind of a man, and it's sad to say, most women, this is just how powerful women are. Most women can change the mind of a man than God, and that's very scary. Now, listen to what I'm saying again. Most women can change a man's mind than God, which is very scary. Now, you all saying, how can a woman change a man's mind? And God is more powerful than a woman, and God is the creator. See, God, he give man a free will. He give a man a free will. And for example, let me tell you how powerful a woman is. I'm going to give you some names, and I'm going to expound but not explain my point of view. These are the names that I'm going to call out a few names, okay? Now, the first name is Adam. The next name is Abraham, David, Solomon, and Samson. I'm going to say these names again. Adam, Abraham, David, Solomon, and Samson. Eve influenced Adam. Even though Adam had a free will, Eve influenced Adam, and we know about the account what happened in the garden. Adam chose, and he exercised his free will to listen to a woman. That's influence. Abraham, he listened to Sarah. He listened to Sarah when God had promised Abraham that he was going to give him a son through his wife Sarah, okay? But they was at the age where they didn't think they could have no children. But what did Sarah do? Sarah taught Abraham into going into Hagar, her servant. That's influence. Also, Sarah taught Abraham to kick Hagar out with a son. But at that particular time, God told Abraham to listen to his wife Sarah when he kicked Hagar out. David. When David was about to die, Bathsheba and the prophet during that time, they came to, how you doing, Sister Tala? Bathsheba and the prophet, they came to David when David was about to die. And Bathsheba, she influenced David to choose Solomon to be the next king of Israel, the third king. And not only that, we know about Solomon. Solomon had many women. He had 1,000 women. How you doing, Sister Tolliver? King Solomon had 1,000 women. 700 he was married to them. The other women were concubines or the side pieces. Okay, so Solomon had a total of 1,000 women, and this is not no exaggeration. These women had so much influence on King Solomon, whereas he left, they stole his heart from God. Even though Solomon had a free will, they influenced Solomon, and he built little things for them that went against the king of Israel, God, that is, you know what I mean? So, and not only that, Samson, and we know the story of Samson. Samson got a free haircut. Delilah influenced Samson. She used all kinds of things to influence him. She even used the power of tears to influence Samson. Now, those are some startling things about how a woman can influence a man. Not only that, there are some more women too. There are 3 particular women that I'm about to tell you about. There are 3 particular ones. It's Queen Esther. You all are familiar with Queen Esther. She was documented as the first beauty queen, one of the first beauty queens, right? She had married a king, and she influenced this king to save the Jews. Positive influence. Not only that, Timothy in the Bible, he wrote 2 books in the Bible, that 1 Timothy and 2 Timothy. His grandmother, his mother was named Eunice, and his grandmother was named Lois. His grandmother and his mother had a major impact. Timothy, he was a follower of Paul, okay? And he wrote 2 books in the Bible. Women influence. Even Paul made a statement how Timothy's mother and grandmother influenced Timothy, okay? Now, and then we're going to come to this section too. How you doing, Sister Thomas said, what about Hadorus? Okay, yeah, King Herod. That's what you're talking about. Yes, King Herod was influenced too. I'm glad you brought that up, Sister Teresa Thomas. How you doing, Sister Marie? Welcome to the dinner table. And how you doing from cultivating your relationship with God? Welcome to the dinner table. Thank you, Sister Teresa. Let me tell you brothers and sisters, something. While I'm talking, sometimes you hear me talking to people, right? That's because I'm talking on 2 different platforms. I'm talking on the book, and then I'm talking on the tube. So sometimes you people on the book, you cannot see the people on the tube. And you people on the tube, you cannot see people on the book. So I'm letting you know, if you're trying to say, Tony, who you talking to? I'm talking on 2 different platforms. It's killing 2 birds with one stone. Back to what Sister Teresa said. That's right. This incident happened with John the Baptist, okay? John the Baptist, he was beheaded. You know why he was beheaded? Because of this evil woman that this king, I believe his name was King Herod. He was the king, right? So he had this big party, right? And the woman that he was dating, his brother name was Philip, but he had an immoral relationship with Philip's wife, right? And so John the Baptist had told him to leave her alone because that's your brother's wife. but he ignored it, right? So that woman, she got pissed off at John the Baptist. So she had in her mind, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. So that was this big banquet, right? And the king, he had all his big people around and stuff like that. And this young lady, her daughter, was dancing, and it pleased this king, right? So it was, I believe, it was King Herod. And so he said, I will give you up to half of the kingdom. Just tell me what you want. And how you doing, mother? And she said, then she went and told her mother. So her mother took this as an opportunity to get John the Baptist. And this is what she did. She told her daughter to go tell the king, I want John the Baptist's head. So it distressed the king because John was a righteous man and he listened to a lot of things John said, but because he had promised the girl and he wanted to save face. And this is another example of how a woman decision influenced a man. So we know that John the Baptist got his head cut off. That's just how powerful of an influence some women have. Now, there are two other women that you all don't know nothing about, okay? Two other women, they're not documented or nothing in none of these world books, okay? But they're documented in God's book. Now, these are two women that influenced my life. The first woman that influenced my life, that was my mother. My mother, she introduced me to the Lord Jesus. She might not realize it, but she at the dinner table. She taught me how to pray to God, and my mother was a major influence on my direction going to the Lord. You know how they said train up a child in the way he should go, and he or she will not depart from it. So my mother, she introduced me to the Lord Jesus. And when my mother introduced me to the Lord Jesus, even though I went out of the way, I came back because it was the training, okay? And the second most important woman in my life was my wife, because I'm going to tell you this. When I got with my wife, what I'm doing in front of you brothers and sisters right now, when I'm talking to you all about relationship, prior to me, my wife, I would not even thinking about this type of ministry, talking about relationships and stuff. But God seemed fit when I married my wife. Prior to that, this kind of thought or talk about talking about relationship, it never entered my mind or my heart. But when I married my wife, at that particular time, that's when God gave me the strong desire to do this couple ministry. How you doing, Kristen Bridges? It said, y'all all go out there, love and believe it all your dream. Create your own meditation, understand your trauma, and work through your anger. Money, power, and attention kills love, unity. Okay. Learn, and then it said, learn to apologize to God. This is on the book. You are healthy and you're wealthy. Well, okay, thank you. Ooh. But anyway, the power of God, my brothers and sisters. Let me tell you about not the power of God, but the power of women. God created the woman to give birth to the world. You understand? God created the woman to have birth to the world. When he created Adam, the woman came out of the man. So when he made the woman from the rib of Adam, the woman, she was used to bring birth to the world. Not only that, God told Adam and Eve, he told them to what? He told them to rule and dominate together. But before he said ruling, he said, I want you all to reproduce. No man can reproduce by himself. No man can reproduce with another man. So God made a woman. And when God made this woman, the woman is part man. It said woman because she came out of the womb of a man. So a woman, she is instrumental into bringing life into this world. Now, there are some men out there that don't see the importance of a woman, but every man except Adam came from a woman. So a woman has importance. Women were created to take a part in this thing called life. God seemed fit to create the woman to have part and to advance the cause of Christ in this life. Now, not only was the woman created to birth this world, the second reason why God did this is he knew that the woman would change the world. The woman had a major impact on changing the course of the world. And we go all the way back to the Garden of Eden. Adam had two positions he had to come from. Adam had what is called a free will. God had told Adam something before he created Eve or made Eve, okay? He had a relationship with God, that man being Adam. He knew his purpose. He knew who he was. He knew why he was here, and he knew his destiny before he met the woman. So when God called the deep sleep to come on Adam, and he called the deep sleep to come on Adam, he formed the woman and represented the woman back to the man. You all know the story. So Adam and Eve, they lived a perfect life. They was in harmony with God himself. Okay. But something happened. Eve had a conversation with Satan. Satan used the body of what is called the serpent. And he tricked Eve. Now, let me tell you something about what Satan did when he tricked Eve. When Eve ate this particular fruit, it did not say, it said the forbidden fruit. So when Eve ate this forbidden fruit, listen to what I'm saying. When she ate it, nothing happened to her at that time. Nothing happened. Nothing didn't happen until Adam ate it. You understand that? Eve influenced Adam. Eve had more influence over Adam than God did. You understand what I'm saying? That, and Adam was a perfect man. But Eve had more influence over Adam than God. And that's when the world changed. And after Eve, there were some women that did some positive things, and there were some women that did some things that were not so positive. But the bottom line is, a woman has power. She has power to influence and change the world. Thirdly, women are receivers. What do I mean by women are receivers? Women were created to receive. And when women were created to receive, you see, women are the receiver, men are the givers. Men represent Christ, women represents the church. When Jesus came, Jesus said, I came to not to be served, but to serve. When Jesus walked about, Jesus always said, what can I do for you? Jesus was about the serving business. If you read about Jesus, Jesus was always going about seeking to do God's will and to address the needs of the people. And that's the mindset of a man that following God, to follow Jesus' footsteps and to serve God and to go by the needs of the world. So when it comes to the woman, the man, he gives the woman a seed. And when the man gives a woman seed, it's not only a seed to reproduce children. A man could give a woman a seed to produce his vision. Whenever a man gives a woman a seed, she produces. She has the ability to produce. That's why God created the woman to be a partner with a man. If you notice, God himself said, and I say it over and over again, that the Lord himself said it's not good for man to be alone. I will make him a what? Help me or helpmate. This was in the mind of God before he created the world. So remember I said that the woman is the period on creation. So when God created the woman, he had the man. The man have the natural seed to have offspring, right? And also the man have the seed of ideas and vision, right? So how you doing, Sister Jane? Those of you that are coming in tonight, tonight's topic is the power of a woman. And I'm going to tell you a little about what I said earlier. Those of you that are coming to dinner a little late, women have a whole bunch of power. Women have major influence. Some women have so much major influence that when it comes to God and a woman, a lot of time men, they listen to a woman than they will God. It's documentation that proves that men, majority of men, they listen more to a woman than man. The only man in history that is documented that listened more to God than a woman was Job himself. The reason why Job did not listen to his wife during that time, because she was trying to tell him something other than what God told him. Okay? Other than that, women have major influence. That's why, brother, when it comes to a woman, you have to select the right woman to come into your life. You have to either choose a woman that is following God, or you're going to have a woman that is following the adversary. You have to make your selection very sure. And it's very important, brother, what type of woman you have in your life. Women influence, even though you, brother, you think that you have all the power. Men have power when they use their voice, right? Women have power when they utilize their feelings. You understand? So a man could say, do this and that, yeah. But women have a way of using their skills and stuff. Women, a lot of times, they don't have to say nothing. It's a certain look they can have. It's a certain thing they could do. But a man could, a lot of time, a man could read a woman whether, okay, and you know, some men, they got this concept that happy wife, happy life. Some men buy into it, okay? But this one do not. My thing is to please God and to praise the wife, okay? But first God and then a woman. You don't put no woman on no pedestal, but you put God on the pedestal. And if you're married to a woman, that woman is the second most important thing or person in that man's life. Other than whatever you got going on, brother, if you are married, that woman is the most important person in your life after the Lord, or thing in your life. So you got to understand that God, if God put you with a woman, brother, God did not put you with a woman just for temporary purposes. He did not do it. God put you, let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you something, brother. When God, how you doing, Sister Nisa? Welcome to the dinner table night. And how you doing, Sister Vivian Williams? Welcome to the tonight's dinner. When God placed the woman with the man, God knew it, because when we go back to the Garden of Eden, remember when Adam and Eve messed up? Remember what he told Eve? He told Eve that your desires will be towards your husband and he will rule over you. Why did God say that to Eve? I'm going to tell you why he told Eve this. He told Eve, your desire would be to your husband and he will rule over you. God told Eve this because before Eve and Adam messed up, remember Adam and Eve, they had dual responsibility together. They were supposed to reproduce together. And not only were they supposed to reproduce together, they were supposed to dominate. So God had to modify the relationship between the man and the woman, and he put the man as the head and leader of the home at that particular time. Prior to that, Adam and Eve were just like this, okay? But when they messed up, they were still equal, but God had to redefine the position, and he put the man right here and the woman right here as far as position go, but still they're equal, you understand? So God told Eve, your desire would be to your husband, and he will rule over you. Why did God say that? Because he knew that a woman had influence over the man. Look what she did to Adam. God knew the power of a woman. If brother, if you don't understand, if you think you got all that wisdom and knowledge, you better come again. Women have power because they have the power of influence. And once a woman, you see, brother, you got to understand, once you give a woman something, remember the woman will change the world. Women are receivers and we are givers. Like I said, just like Jesus came into the world and he was a giver. Jesus was not a taker. And that's the pathway a man's supposed to do. He's supposed to walk just like Jesus. He's supposed to be a giver instead of a taker. When Jesus died and he died for the church, Jesus told the church what he wanted the church to do. And when Jesus put his vision in the church supposed to carry out Jesus' vision, right? For the world. The same thing. If a man is walking after the Lord Jesus, he's supposed, the woman that God put into his life, she's supposed to express his vision to that woman. And when he expressed his vision to that woman had the capacity to bring his vision together, which leads to this. Number 4, women are multipliers. Once a man give a woman a seed of his natural seed to produce children, and after that, his vision. You see, when God give a man the ability to have children, he need a woman to multiply. He can't do it by himself. He can't be with another man and reproduce. No way possible. He needs a woman to reproduce. And not only that, when it comes to advancing in the world, if you notice in the Bible, most of the time, you see where a man and woman are always teaming up. If you ever notice this, now some men, they team up as far as going to war and stuff like that. But when you really look at the Bible, it shows where it's a partnership multiple between a man and a woman. God strategically put men and women together. When you look at it in the Bible, God strategically put some men and women together. Women multiply. Brother, if you get a good, that's why it's very important, brother, when you select a woman, you have to get a woman because whatever you give her, she's going to multiply it. If you give a woman a word, what does she do? She make a sentence. If you give a woman some money to go to the grocery store or something, you might go to the grocery store and you will come back with a few bad. You give a woman some money, those women know how to scratch money, and she'll come back with more bad. Women know how to multiply. That's why, brother, you have to have a good woman in your life. You don't get no lazy woman when God gives you a vision and purpose in your life. You must have a good woman in your life. If you go and get the wrong woman, you are going to, like Natalie Cole said years ago, you're going to be catching hell. Up in here, up in here. Now, I had not only Natalie Cole, but when I say up in here, that's shout out to DMX, okay? But that's what I'm saying, my brother. That's what I'm saying, my sister. Women have the power to multiply. Now, women lead by influence. Influence is more important, and when it comes to the world, influence have more power than a position. Listen to what I'm saying. Influence have more power than position. God, my brother, and God, my sister, he never had no intention of leaving a woman out of his plan. God never had no intention in leaving a woman out of his plan. Even though the world, a lot of men, they say, they look at, we don't need no woman for this. We only need a woman to what? Make sure the house clean, pick up the children from school and help them with the homework, make sure my food is cooked and warm, be able to keep my house clean, be able to lay on your back when I get ready for you and shut up. That's how some men view women. God doesn't view women like that. God knows that a woman is very instrumental, and a woman, she has influence. Now, this is what I mean by this. For example, you are familiar with John the Baptist, right? John the Baptist was the cousin of Jesus. You understand? John the Baptist was the cousin of Jesus. When Mary found out that she was pregnant with Jesus, she went to her cousin Elizabeth's house and she stayed with Elizabeth for about 6 months, okay? When Mary walked into Elizabeth's house, the baby inside of Elizabeth jumped. And then Elizabeth said, why? And I'm paraphrasing, what caused the mother of my Lord to come in? Because when this is why it's very important. You know, we got this big controversy about, you know, the abortion thing going on right now, right? But that's why it's very important, my brother and sister. When do life start? When you look at it from a biblical perspective, John the Baptist was inside his mother's womb. When Mary came in and she taught, John heard the voice of Jesus' mama. That's why some of you guys, you don't understand when a woman be rubbing her stomach and stuff while she pregnant. Babies can listen, they can hear. Babies can hear. when a sperm hit the egg, God orchestrate for the egg to hit that egg. Even though it's a lot of sperms that coming into play, it's only one Olympic winner that's going to hit that egg. Once God caused that one sperm to hit that egg, that's the beginning of life. Once it unite, that's the beginning of life. So when Mary was with Elizabeth for 6 months, then she left. What did Jesus say about John the Baptist? Jesus said that there's no greater man that have lived among man than John. You understand? So Jesus gave John recognition, but guess what? John had a good mother. John was a gift to John's mother and his daddy. He came before Jesus. He was preparing the way for Jesus. Remember, John was the one that was in the wilderness. John was the one that prepared people for Jesus to come. He came from a woman. It taught more about John the Baptist's mother than his daddy. And lo and behold, let's talk about this other particular woman. We're going to talk about Mary herself. How you doing, Sister Cheryl Smith? Welcome to the dinner table. Mary herself. Those of you that are coming in, tonight's topic is the power of a woman. If you notice this, when it comes to Mary herself, the Bible focused more on Mary than it did Joseph. Before Mary was born, it was prophesied that a virgin was going to have a son. You understand how you doing, Sister Vale? The Bible prophesied that the seed of a woman. Notice women do not have seed. Women have ovaries and eggs. You know what I mean? Women do not have seed, but the Bible said the seed of a woman. That means that this particular child was going to come into the world without a man. Jesus is the only one that had come into this world that came without a man. The question is this: who is the same age as his father and older than his mother? Again, I'm going to say it 2 more times. Who is the same age as his father but older than his mother? Who is the same age of his father but older than his mother? And ain't but one. That's Jesus. He was called Emmanuel. Jesus, when I said the same age as his father, Jesus always was. When he came into this world, he came into a human body, but Jesus existed before he came into this world. Jesus made special appearances throughout history before Mary had him. He went by other names. So we're going to talk about this one particular woman right quick, okay? We're going to talk about this one particular woman. And we're going to go to Luke chapter 1, 26 through 38. This again, Luke is a physician. Luke used to travel with Paul. Luke was a physician. He wrote one of the 4 gospels. And this particular topic by Jesus is in Luke, the chapter 1, 26 through 28. And we're going to focus on Mary, okay? Women, the power of influence. It say, during Elizabeth's 6 months of pregnancy, I'm going to read it to you. God sent the angel Gabriel. How you doing, Sister Hawkins? Welcome to the tonight dinner table. God sent during Elizabeth's 6 months of pregnancy, God sent the angel Gabriel to Nazareth, a town of Galilee. Thank you, Sister Teresa Thomas, for writing it down for me. Teresa wrote where I'm talking from, for Luke chapter 1, 26 through 38. So back to it, said God sent the angel Gabriel to Nazareth, a town of Galilee, to a virgin. Mary was a virgin. She's the only virgin to have a child without a man. Let me say something about this, my brothers. Can you imagine this? She was engaged to Joseph. Joseph never touched Mary. Can you imagine during that particular time when she was with child, right? Can you imagine her telling Joseph that she was pregnant? What you think came to Joseph's mind? It was what naturally come to me in mind that you was with someone else and you supposed to be a virgin. What do you think the people around Mary were thinking? They were thinking that she probably laying around with somebody. You know how people are. Can you imagine the news? She going around saying that she was pregnant, but no man. Can you imagine that? She was pregnant to the point where Joseph decided to call off the engagement. Were you all aware of that? Joseph was about to put Mary away privately. He wasn't going to make it no public thing. He was going to put her away privately. But the angel appeared in Joseph's dream, and he told her to take Mary, and he explained to Joseph what was happening. So that's why Joseph did not put Mary away, because the angel had to talk to him during his dream. Joseph was a righteous man, but we're going back to what the word of God. It says she was engaged to marry a man named Joseph from the family of David. Her name was Mary. The angel came to her and said, "Greetings. The Lord have blessed you and is with you." But Mary was very startled by what the angel said and wondered what this greeting might mean. Just think of this, brother and sister. What would you do if all of a sudden you doing whatever you were doing and all of a sudden an angel appeared to you, something you never seen before? We don't know exactly how Gabriel looked. You can't go by all those little drawings and stuff on TV and stuff. We don't know how angels look, but we do know when angels mostly appear in front of people in their natural state, they normally shook people up, because ain't nothing that an angel ain't what you see every day. Now, some angels, they take on human form, and you think that they are human. But when an angel appears to you in its natural state, it'll shake you up, because there ain't nothing you never seen before. Okay, but back to the story. That's why she was afraid. She was afraid when she seen him, because she was startled. The words say she was startled when the angel started talking to her. And then the angel said to her, "Don't be afraid." He knew that she was afraid. So he went ahead and comforted her. He said, "Don't be afraid." Then he said, "Mary, God have shown his grace. Listen, you will become pregnant and give birth to a son, and you will call him Jesus, or Emmanuel, which means God is with us. He will be great, and he will be called the Son of the Most High. The Lord will give him the throne of the King David, his ancestor. He will rule over the people of Jacob forever, and his kingdom will never end." And this is what Mary said to the angel. "How shall this be, seeing that I'm a virgin?" And then the angel said to Mary, "The Holy Spirit will come upon you, and the power of the Most High will cover you. For this reason, the baby will be holy and will be called the Son of God. Now Elizabeth, your relative or your cousin, she is also pregnant with a son, though she is very old. Everyone thought," listen to this, everyone thought that she could not have a baby, but she was pregnant for 6 months. God can do anything. The power of a woman. Number 7, listen to this. Women are important in the life of a godly man. Women are important in the life of a godly man. When Jesus was on earth, do you not know, my brothers and sisters, women followed Jesus? It was not only men, it was Jesus even went to the home of Mary and Martha. He ate with them. Who met Jesus when he rose from the dead? If you ever noticed it, my brother and sister, it was Mary, not his mama. Mary was the first person to see Jesus when he rose from the dead. You understand? When Mary came to that tomb, she noticed that the stone was rolled away. Let me tell you what happened when that stone rolled away. It was some guards that was set there by the Pharisees. They went to the government and say, "Look, that deceiver said that he's going to rise. So we're going to make sure that his disciples do not come and steal his body. So we want a guard in front of that tomb. So they set some guards in front of the tomb, right? The third day. Let me tell you what Jesus was doing. For those of you, let me give you a little history of what Jesus was doing when he died. When Jesus left his body, Jesus' spirit went to the Father. His soul went to the world of Hades during that time. The underworld. That's where Jesus went. Jesus' soul went down there, but Jesus' soul stayed there for 3 days. When Jesus came back, some of the saints that was dead in that particular place, paradise, they came back to earth and they walked around. Do you already know that? They walked around. And let me tell you something there, my brother, since I know this free of charge. Those that were doing down there in paradise during that time, Jesus took their souls to heaven. And the borders of Hades got larger. So everyone that goes down now, not the body, but their soul, that's hell. See, Jesus had to die and he had to shed blood before those souls went to heaven. Understand? I know we could get deep into that. So if you die today, my brother and sister, you either going up to the sky, your soul, before Jesus comes, or your soul going deeper than your body. But back to the story. The woman is important to the life of a godly man. Brother, when it comes to a woman, if you are following God, it's important. It's imperative that this woman be a godly woman. She will not be perfect. I always say that, like, you're not perfect, brother. She is not perfect. But you need a godly woman. You do not need a worldly woman. You don't need no worldly woman that come to you with her hands to take from you. You don't want no taker. You want a woman coming in that will incubate your ideas. Remember, I said that women are receivers. So the seed that you put into that woman, you want to put it in a woman that will be productive. If you're not a child, whatever purpose God gave to you, brother, you have to share that vision with your woman. Just like I told you all earlier, before I started this couple ministry, I was not even thinking about this. This was not even in my mind. It was not into my heart until I married my wife right now. To question, but you all know I call her Cinderella. When she came into the picture, at that particular time, when I got united with my wife, she believed in God. I believed in God. And at that particular time, God, I knew I had a gift. But when God called me to find my wife and we got together, that's when God opened up the plan for me to do the couple ministry. God got two imperfect people. He got an imperfect Cinderella and he got an imperfect Toomer. He put two imperfect people together that had a failure rate in relationships. I failed in relationship. Cinderella failed in relationship. So God say I could get my glory out of those two. Even though they're imperfect, even though they messed up, they could help other couples when it comes to a relationship because they have walked that road before. They're not going to go around fronting like they have arrived. They're not going to go around acting like they ain't never done anything. I had a sinful past. My wife had a sinful past. So when you look at my wife and I, we both had a sinful past. We might look good on Facebook and everything, but we both had a sinful past. But God washed me. God washed her. So God put two different sinners together. Thank you. Thank you, Kristen and Teresa. God put two imperfect people together. Why did God do this? Because God said, Tony messed up so much, Cinderella messed up so much, I can get my glory out of those two because they failed in relationship. They both have touched the top. They have both touched the stove. They have both been in and out of relationship, but now I'm going to put them together. Do Tony and Cinderella still have a problem relationship? Sometimes we do. But let me tell you that, my brother and sister, she is the only woman. I'm telling you, she's the only woman, when I talk about relationship, that we have a long period of peace in our relationship. Every now and then we go into a storm. Every now and then we are in a storm. Every now and then we come out of it. Because, see, in a relationship, check out the last part. It said relation, then ship. That means you're traveling, right? So in a relationship, my brother and sister, you either going to go into a storm, you're in the midst of the storm, but you coming out of it. That's why you need Jesus, my brother, and a good woman when you go to the storm. So you're going to have those storms in life, but guess what? 2 incidents, and I'm going to tell you this. Remember that time when Jesus had fed those people a lot of fish sandwiches, right? And he told his disciples, he said, get on the ship, and I'm going to meet you on the other side, right? So Jesus, I'm going to get these people waiting, and I'll meet y'all. So can you imagine the disciples said, okay, we'll do what you say, but how he going to get over there? So Jesus went praying, right? When Jesus went praying, my brother and sister, the ship was gone. It's got dark, right? Jesus had finished praying, and Jesus already knew what was going to happen before it happened, right? But when the Bible was talking, how you doing, Sister Mary Simpson? When Jesus saw the ship out there, guess what? Jesus knew what he was going to do. He didn't just know what he was going to do at that point. Jesus knew what he was going to do before he created the world. But Jesus was in real time now, right? Jesus came out of eternity. He was in real time. So the storm was out there, and they got petrified. They got afraid and everything, right? So they thought they were going to drown. Can you imagine? It was dark. The waves were doing all like this, and they were probably throwing stuff off the ship so they wouldn't drown. And then what happened? They seen something. They seen something, and they was afraid. Can you imagine them saying, what is that? What is that? They never seen nothing like that before. Never. It was Jesus. They thought it was a ghost. They never seen nothing like that before. Brother, sister, what you would have thought, or how you would have felt if you seen something like that you never seen before. It was like a ghost, so they were scared, right? So Jesus said, don't be afraid, it is I. And Peter, he talked so much. What did Peter say? Peter said, okay, Lord, is it you? Bid me to come out there. And you know what Jesus said? Jesus said, come. Now, just imagine the storm and stuff was still going on. And Jesus, he was just chilling, walking on the water. He was just chilling, like he was just strolling, right? But all this stuff was going on, all right? So Peter, he put one foot out, and can you imagine this? The disciples, they were there watching this, and they couldn't believe, okay, we just seen Jesus now, and then Peter put his other foot out there, and he started walking toward Jesus, right? Some of you all might not know this, but it were 2 men that walked on on water. If you don't notice, a lot of people just thought that Jesus was the only one walked on water. Peter did too. Check it out in the Bible. After you finish looking at the broadcast, Peter walked on the water too. What a lot of preachers don't tell us, okay? You have to research. That's why you have to read God's word. So when Peter started walking toward Jesus, what did the Bible say? He took his eye off of Jesus because he noticed that storm. He noticed that it was dark. He noticed that water. Can you imagine? And he started sinking. And when Peter started sinking, what he said? Lord, save me. And what Jesus did? Jesus reached and grabbed him. He said, art thou a little faith? And Jesus pulled him up. Can you imagine when Jesus pulled Peter up, and Peter probably holding on to Jesus for life? And then they walked to the ship. They got on the ship, and the Bible said that the storm was over. And then there was another storm. This time Jesus was on the ship. Let me get some water. This time Jesus was on the ship, but Jesus was down in the bottom part of the ship. He was chilling out. He was asleep. But let me tell you about that, my brother and sister. Jesus' body was asleep. Because you got to understand that Jesus was 100% man. He was also 100% God. You understand? That's what some people their mind can't imagine. Jesus was 100% God, and he was 100, excuse me, and he was 100% man. So Jesus' body was asleep. Jesus knew what was going to happen before it happened. So it didn't surprise Jesus. So they came down because there was a bad storm, right? And they were saying, Lord, wake up, wake up, wake up. We're about to drown in this bad storm. They had forgot that it was another storm. And when Jesus was with them, when he got on the boat, the storm, it cooled out, right? And they was on the other side. But this time, Jesus woke up. And Jesus walked up the stairs to the top. So when Jesus got up there, imagine them, they were scared and everything. Jesus walked up and water was hitting Jesus, water was hitting them, Jesus was getting wet, right? What did Jesus say? Jesus said this. Jesus said, peace be still. And when Jesus said, peace be still, it said that the storm stopped like that. Everything was cool. And then you know what his disciples say? What kind of man can talk to the wind? What kind of man could talk to the water and it just stopped? And they fell down and worshiped Jesus. Why am I saying Jesus? Because when it comes to a relationship, my brother and sister, if you're in a relationship with a godly woman, my point is you're going to have storms in your relationship. That's why Jesus will give you peace. Sister, I hope I get this right, sister, is Michelle Sofa, something like that on Facebook. I hope I didn't miss your name up, sister, but the topic that I'm talking about at tonight's dinner table is the power of a woman. And sister, after the broadcast, since you on YouTube, I'm going to save this and you can go back and look at the beginning part of it. But the topic for tonight, sister, is the power of a woman. And for those of you that might came in late, I'm going to give you a brief recap. The power of a woman. Like I said earlier, there were 3 men that put Macon, Georgia on the map. It was Little Richard, it was Otis Redding, and it was James Brown. James Brown, my brother and sister, he was the one that said, this is a man's world, but it would be nothing without a woman. James knew it. James knew this. Not only that, what is the purpose of a woman? The purpose of a woman, according to God, when it comes to 1 Corinthians 11:9, 1 Corinthians 11:9, 1 Corinthians 11:9, 1 Corinthians 11:9, it said, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. God looked at the man and say, look, when he was talking, when it was the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, they had a talk. They was talking. And he said it's not good for man to be alone. So he made the man a helpmeet. And we know the story when Adam found out his purpose. When Adam found his purpose, the Lord called a deep sleep. And when the Lord called a deep sleep, he opened up Adam's rib. He formed the woman. He represented the woman to the man. And Adam said at that time, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, I should call her woman because she came from man. And that's what happened. And not only that, it's another thing that I had said earlier. I said that foolish men, they do not understand the power of a woman. A woman had the power of influence. When I say a woman had the power of influence, she may not have the power of position because God put a man in the position of the head and leader. But women have the power of influence. And when I said women have the power of influence, I made a statement. I said that, check out these guys. I said, look at Adam, look at Abraham, look at David, look at Solomon, and look at Samson. Adam listened to Eve. He was influenced. Abraham listened to Sarah. He was influenced. David listened to Bathsheba when he taught David into making Solomon king. David was influenced. Look at Solomon. He had 1,000 women, 700 of them were his wife, and the rest of them were his concubine aside women. And I'm not stretching it. Solomon had 1,000 women. They took the heart of Solomon away from God. He was influenced. And Samson, we know about him. He had Samson would run after women. They influenced him so much. You see, Samson had a lust problem. He was running after women, after women, after women. He got to the wrong one, and he got a free haircut. You see, Delilah could have got me because I ain't got no hair on my head. She could have got me a long time ago, but I don't have no hair on my head. But Samson got a free haircut. The power of influence. And then there's another thing. It was some women like Queen Esther. Queen Esther influenced the king to save the Jews. Okay. Not only that, Timothy, he wrote the 1st and 2nd Timothy in the Bible. He was a follower of Paul. But Timothy, he had a grandmother named Lois and a mother named Eunice. They both influenced him. Even Paul made a statement that his grandmother and his mother influenced him. And then there was King Lemuel. I hope I pronounce it right. King Lemuel. If you all don't know about this guy, he was so influenced by his mother. Do you all know what he wrote in the Bible? This guy, he was a king. His name is King Lemuel. That's Lemuel. He got great advice from his mama. And you know what he did? He wrote the book of Proverbs 31. You understand that? This man wrote Proverbs 31. And what is that? The virtuous woman. He was influenced by his mother. His mother gave him wise advice. Check it out after this show. And not only that, I told you all this too. If y'all hear some shooting out there, it because the 4th is tomorrow, and some of these people, they shooting their guns and stuff already. So they ain't shooting at me, but they shooting out there, right? So tomorrow is the 4th, okay? So if you see this video, remember the 4th is coming up, and y'all hear some shooting out there, okay? They ain't shooting at me. I ain't pissed nobody off. Okay, but then I told you all about 2 women that influenced me. I told you about my mother. She influenced me because she the one who introduced me to Jesus the Christ when I was a young lad. She taught me how to pray. She introduced me to the Lord, even though I went astray. It said, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will basically return back. So I went astray, but the teaching of my mother, it called me to come back to Christ. As a matter of fact, when I was in college, this influenced my mother. When I was in college, I was in typing class. I had typing class as a lecture, right? It was on a spring day. So I was just typing. And all of a sudden, listen to me, my brother and sister, all of a sudden, I heard the Lord calling me. It ain't what y'all see on TV and what y'all see in the movie. He just said, Tony, my son, come here. Does thou hear me? God doesn't talk like that. That's Hollywood. I heard that small, still voice. It came to me out of nowhere. God didn't say, he didn't ring no doorbell and say, ding dong, I'm here. No, God started speaking to me. I had to stop typing, and I looked out the window. I wasn't even thinking about God at that time. God came to me with his voice. I'm telling you, my brother and sister, whenever you hear God's voice, I'm telling you, it's real. He's real. Believe me, he is real. Just like you hear my voice. You hear my voice with your ears, right? But when God talked to you, he talked to your inner being, your spirit. And it's clear. It's not your conscience. You know it's him. And when you hear God's voice, sometimes it will shake you up because it ain't nothing like you never heard before. How you doing, Coach? How you doing, Coach Deanna? You see, when you hear God's voice, it may shake you up. He don't do it to scare you, but it will shake you up. And not only that, my brother, so let me tell you this. You can feel God present when he come into your life. You know that he's in you, and you know that he have angels around you. You can't see him, but you can feel it. You get used to it, but it's still scary like, because you never been there before. So God is in you. So while God is in you walking, guess what? His angels are walking with you because the Lord is in you. You understand that? Angels walk with the Lord. So the Lord's spirit in you, the angels around you, they're not only protecting you, they're protecting the Lord in you. You have to understand that. I'm telling you, my brother and sister, if you ever hear the voice of the Lord, I put it this way. You all remember the story about Samuel, right? Samuel's mother prayed for a son because she could not have no children, right? Samuel's mother was an influencer. She prayed to God. So Eli, I believe that was his name. He was a preacher some back in the days, right? But he had two sons that his dad, he did not correct his son. His son was bad men. So Samuel was a little boy, and when his mother took him, she gave him back to God because Samuel's mother said, "You give me a son, I'll give him back to you." So that's what she did. She took him to the temple, right? And he grew up in the temple. So God, when he was asleep one night, Samuel heard a voice, Samuel. And he woke up. He thought his master had called him. So he got up and went in the room. He said, "Did you call me?" He said, "No, I didn't call you. Go back to sleep." So Samuel went back to bed and he went back to sleep, and then he heard that voice, Samuel. And he got up and he went back in there. He said, "Did you call me?" He said, "No, I didn't call you. Go back to sleep." So he went back to bed and he heard that voice again, Samuel. And he got up and he went in there. He said, "You did call me." He said, "No, I didn't call." Then that's when that man said, "Uh-oh." He said, "I know what's going on. The Lord is calling him." So he said, if he call you again, just say this, "Here am I." So he went back in the bed and he was about to go to sleep, and he heard that voice saying, Samuel. And he said, "Lord, speak to me." And the Lord started speaking to him. The Lord, he will speak to you, my brother and sister. But I'll tell you this: you got to be sensitive to the Lord, even though you brothers and even though you sister, you have sinned like I have sinned. I've seen a whole lot in my life, like a whole bunch of you have seen a whole bunch in your life. I'm telling you, when you hear the voice of the Lord, He gonna pull you away from the world. He gonna pull you from the world, but you're still in the world. You see, you're gonna be just like that salmon. If you know salmon, they swim the opposite way of the current. You understand? When you look at salmon, they swim against the current. Or my brother and sister, it's just like this. You're gonna walk on the narrow road. You're not gonna be on the broad way that leads to death. You're not gonna do that. You understand? You see, the Lord said, "Broad is the way that leads to death," right? But narrow is the way that leads to life. So, brother, let me tell you this, and sister, let me tell you this. Your mother, not only your mother, but your father, but we're talking about mother tonight. If you have a godly mother, you, my brother, and you, my sister, you were truly blessed. If you have a godly mother, you were truly blessed. My brother, if you have a godly wife, you were truly blessed. Brother, if you have a godly wife, let me tell you this, it was nothing you did. It was not your swag. It was not how you look. It was not your six pack. It was not your six figure in the bank. It was not your house on the hill. It was not where you could take her anywhere you want to. It was none of that. God strategically brought a woman in front of you. You seen her and you initiate the contact with that woman because God brought that woman in your life so you can give her your vision, your purpose that God put in your heart so she can make that relationship grow and multiply. Women, good women, are multipliers. All you have to do is give a woman a seed, and women know what to do because women, they are like incubators and they can produce seed. A woman is just like the soil. If you put a good seed in a good soil, it grows. So if you want children, brother, and you get a good woman, and the Lord wants you to have children, you plant your seed there, you're going to produce. If the Lord gave you a vision, you tell it to your woman, she is going to come aboard and she's going to help it multiply. That good woman, she going to help you to bring your vision to life, just like my wife. When I come talk to you, my brother and sister, a lot of time I run things about her, even though I do all the talking and stuff. You all see her on Facebook and stuff, right? With me, almost every day you see her, right? Because we got a couple ministry. What you all do not know is I run a lot of stuff by my wife, and we run ideas together, and she'll say, yeah, that's good, or she'll say, you need to change this. You see, God put her in my life to help me to present content to you. It's not all me. It's God, my wife, and some of you brothers and sisters that give me ideas. God, not only does God use my wife, not only does God use some of my family members and friends, God use life circumstance so I could present content to you. A lot of women, they give me good content. They'll tell me stuff, and they say, Tony, will you all discuss this? Do you mind discussing this? And then I say, hey, that's a good idea. Or then I might say, let me think about it. So when I be talking, it might appear, I talk couple ministry. It might appear that I side with women. I don't side with women. I don't side with men. Couple ministry means I talk to women and men. Why? You see, this is what happened. This is what happened. Women appear to be more supportive of relationship topics than men. I'm going to say that 2 more times. Women seem to be more supportive of relationship issues than men. 1 more time. Women seem more supportive to relationship issues than men. As a matter of fact, in the United States of America, let me tell you how valuable women are. If it wasn't for women, women spend money. Women spend money. Women are the one that carry this economy around because women spend money. That's why when you go to the malls and stuff, malls are catered mostly for what? Women. When you see commercials on TV, they cater more to women. Why? Because women spend money. When you look at TV and stuff like that, everything mostly are women, then children, then men. Because they know men like holding back. They know that women will do it. And let me tell you something, my brothers and sisters. Those you brothers out there, let me tell you something about women. Listen to me carefully. She might not be your wife, but let me tell you something. When you have something positive going on, brother, you're going to find out that women support you more than men. A lot of men, they will stand back and do like this, and they'll look at you and check you out, right? But women are more verbal, and women will come to you and they want to see what they can do for you. It's just like Jesus. There was not only the men followed Jesus, but women followed Jesus too. It was more women at Jesus' crucifixion than men. Just check that out. When Jesus was on the cross, out of the 12, where we know Judah killed himself, only out of the 12, it was only John there. Peter, James, all them, they were gone. They were scared. Only John. James, bro, he was the only disciple there. Everybody there, it was Jesus' mama and other women. You see, when Jesus was on the cross by himself, where would Jesus support? Women. Who came to the tomb to clean Jesus' body? Women. Women brought those spices and stuff to clean Jesus' body, but when they got there, he was gone. And that's why those angels told Jesus, and check this out. Before any men seen Jesus, women seen him. The first woman, like I said, was Mary. Mary Magdalene. That was the woman that had like 7 devils in her. Jesus cast those devils out of her. She was the first woman to see Jesus. She was a supporter. The other women that came in, the angel said, he's not here. The angel said he's not here. Women got the news before men. And when the women went and told the disciples, they didn't believe it. They said, the Lord ain't here. The Lord ain't there. It were two men that said Jesus not there. and we seen the clothes that he had on, they were folded up neat. He wasn't there. They said that he ain't there. And then Mary Magdalene, she said, I seen him. Mary Magdalene said, I seen the Lord. She said, I thought he was the gardener. She said, I thought he was the gardener. And then she said that he started talking. She said, he just pulled up on me, like roll up. And she said, she told him, where did they lay my Lord? If you just tell me where they laid the Lord, I can go get him. And then you know what the Lord said? He said, Mary. And she recognized that voice. And she looked at him and she said, and she was about to touch him. And Jesus said, don't touch me yet. I got to go to the Father first. But tell my disciples to meet me in Jerusalem and I'm going to come rap to them. So Mary and the other ladies, they had the proof that Jesus was risen from the dead. Women were not afraid to support Jesus. The women, they weren't scared to lay their life down for Jesus. The men were afraid. That's why I'm telling you, some of you brothers, if you got some type of ministry or you got something going on, women gonna support you more than men. Now, there are gonna be some men that gonna support you. Believe me, there are gonna be some men that support you. There's some Christian brothers out there, but there's gonna be more women that's gonna support your cause. Especially, brother, if you're doing something positive, if you're doing something on behalf of the Lord, you're gonna find it, brother. I know I'm living proof. I'm living proof that women will help you more than men. Long as you don't piss them off. Now, that's another thing. You better not piss them off. But if you piss them off, that's another story. And then from covenant, your relationship with God said something for P just released from prison. It was the woman who knew Peter would release. That's right, sister. I'm glad you said that. The lady name was Rhonda. When Peter got locked up in prison, an angel came and let Peter out. Peter thought he was dreaming. The angel opened the door and he said, Peter, get your clothes, follow me. And they went through different parts of the prison, and he led Peter out of the prison. And when Peter got out of the prison, the angel left him. And then that's when Peter, he thought he was dreaming, but he was outside. So he went to this particular house, and at that particular house, get what they were doing? They were praying for Peter's release. And then this young lady, this young woman named Rhonda, her name was Rhonda. Like my sister named Rhonda Renee Toomer. I don't know what my mama named her after that. I don't know. We got to talk about it later. But anyway, this young lady name was Rhonda. Rhonda went to the door. She heard a knock. She looked out and she seen Peter. And she ran and told those people, she said, Peter at the door, Peter at the door. And they said, you dreaming. They said, Peter is at the door. He knocking. Knock on wood. Babe, you better knock on wood. That's what Ronald's saying. He knocking on the door. So they let Peter in, and it was God. See, you, my brother and sister, you see how God used women? Do you see how God you were? Not only that, you remember that woman that washed Jesus' feet when he visited. When Jesus visited Martha and Mary's house, Martha was trying to cook and everything, right? She was trying to cook and everything. But Mary, she was crying, excuse me, she was watching Jesus' feet, and tears from her eyes were hitting Jesus' feet. That was the woman that cleaned Jesus' feet before while he was talking. Do you know anywhere in the Bible where a man cleaned another man's feet? No, Jesus was the only one that cleaned another man's feet. Jesus cleaned his disciples' feet, but a woman cleaned Jesus' feet. Women, the power of a woman. Brothers, you came into this world through your mama. Brother, you may have some sisters. Brother, you may have some daughters. Do you not respect your mama? Do you not respect your sisters? Do you not respect your daughters? Do you want your own daddy to jap slap your mama? No. Do you want somebody to beat on your sister? No. Do you want somebody to hoodwink your daughter and take her virginity from her? No. That's the attitude some of you brothers, some of you single brothers, you need to have when it comes to other women. Because other women, they have a daddy. They may have a brother. They may even have children. But you got to understand it. If you want people to respect your mama, if you want people to respect your sister, if you want people to respect your daughter, your mama, your daughter, your mama, your sister, your daughter, they're not accepting to the rule. If you want people to respect your female members of your family, you got to respect other women, and you can't go around calling women the female dog, and you can't go around calling them that garden tool, and we ain't talking about no shovel. You can't do that. If you want people to respect other women, you want people to respect women in your home, you respect other women too. Some of these guys out there, they be talking bad about women, but they forget that they got a mama. They came from a woman. They forgot that. They forgot that. Some of them got sisters. They forgot that. Some of them got daughters. They forgot that. But other women, they are 304s. These type of guys, some of you brothers, some of you Christian brothers don't listen to those guys. They very negative. They do not understand that God created the woman for the man. The Bible clearly say this. It say, and God's word is true. In 1 Corinthians 11:9, 1 Corinthians 11:9, 1 Corinthians 11:9, it said, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. God's word said this. Not only that, God's word said in the book of Genesis that it's not good for man to be alone. So if God said it, he meant it. If you listen to any man, brothers out there that say women ain't no good, women ain't important, they are trying to call God a liar. They are trying to say that God made a mistake. God don't make a mistake. He probably, he didn't make no mistake. Those guys make mistakes. So, brother, don't listen to some of these negative men talk down on women. Now, there are some women that are bad, and then there are few that are good. Like there are some men that are bad, and there are some men that are good. When I say good, I'm talking about there are men that follow Christ, and there are women that follow Christ. You understand that? My brother and sister, I hope that you all enjoyed the dinner tonight. I really did. I enjoyed this, my brother, and I enjoyed this, my sister. I hope, my brother, and I hope, my sister, that you all have a good evening. And Lord willing, I will be back another time to have dinner with you all. Okay. I love you, brothers, and I love you, sister. You all have a good night. Okay. Peace out.